Now, I need to preface this by saying I love Ghost of Tsushima. It's a fantastic game. I've talked a little bit about the game here on the channel, and it was a game that was very different, that tried different things, and it was like a love letter to Japan and Japanese films, and you could feel it. The acting, the soundtrack, the scenery, everything about Ghost of Tsushima was so good that I had a hard time seeing how a sequel could live up to that or maybe even surpass it. I was not of the same group of people that thought that Ghost of Tsushima necessarily needed a sequel. I didn't think that I needed to see what was left of Jin Sakai's story because I thought that Jin Sakai's story ended in a pretty good area. Now, could we have made a sequel to it? Yes. Would I have played it? Yes. Would it have been as good? I don't know. When Ghost of Yōtei got announced, I saw that a female was taking the lead role. And I knew there was going to be some debate on that already. We even made a video about it right here. And my biggest things were, can it be as good and can it surpass it? Because so many people that wanted Ghost of Tsushima sequel, that wanted to play another version of this game, they just wanted a direct sequel to it. They wanted the story of Jin Sakai. So my argument was, has the story failed? Has the game failed before it even arrived because it's a different character? And obviously that's a valid concern. And that's a concern that I don't know if I shared, but I was a bit worried. Now, what I did get from the trailers of Ghost of Yōtei was that I wasn't a big fan of the English voice acting. I saw a little bit of it during the reveal trailers. I didn't like the English voice acting. And it's not to say that it's not good or that she didn't do a good job or anything like that. I didn't like it. I didn't connect to it. And it actually kind of threw me out of the game. It threw me out of the loop, to be honest. And I started thinking to myself, when I buy the game, I have a big decision. Do I want to go English like I did with Ghost of Tsushima, which I really enjoyed the voice acting and the voice of Jin Sakai was very powerful and the delivery was awesome in Tsushima? Or do I attempt to go Japanese in Ghost of Yōtei with English subtitles? Now, I, for background purposes, make story explain videos, the story so far videos, and I go into the lore of video games. So I know that if I start the game in Japanese, I'm going to have to finish it in Japanese, and my story explained are going to feature the Japanese dubbed version. But I said, you know what? It's fine. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. I start playing it in Japanese and it just felt much more authentic. It felt much better for me. This is personal preference.
肌にあざができるたび燃える木を思い出すたび心は強く固くなになる初めて人を切ったのは戦の最中名も知らぬ兵の血を弟の刀に吸わせまくる
The voice actress that plays Atsu in the Japanese language is Faruz Ai, but she is a veteran Japanese voice actress and she is a freaking beast. I love her as Atsu. So I know this game in Japanese and I've been playing this game for many hours. Like, this is my quote unquote job. So I've been playing this game for many hours and I have invested time in it. I am halfway done with the game, I believe, and I can confidently say that I have enjoyed this game more than Tsushima. And again, it doesn't take anything away from Tsushima. It's just I have really connected with the feeling of the game more. It feels like Sucker Punch took what was great about Ghost of Tsushima and they just expanded on it. They made it better. They improved the things that they needed to improve in. They took some of the feedback about gameplay, quests, side missions, and all these little things and just improved on it. And when you get a sequel to a great game like Tsushima, that's all that matters. Like Spider-Man 2018, you just wanted to make a bigger, better version of Spider-Man 2018. God of War 2018, well, Ragnarok, you just wanted to make a better, bigger version of it. You want to improve. And Yōtei to me feels like a bigger and better version of Tsushima. I'm having a lot more fun exploring. That was something that honestly in Tsushima, as crazy as it sounds, I didn't really like the exploration too much. Some of it felt a little bit repetitive. Some things I wasn't just feeling. And the story of Jin Sakai is a powerful story, but I also felt that it was very broad at times. The story of Jin Sakai was like a man who was lost and trying to figure it out and fighting that moral dilemma that he has, this thing that he grew up with his entire life. That tells a compelling story, but it wasn't as tight as maybe I would have liked it to be. And this is just for me. It wasn't as tight. And there were some things that I didn't necessarily connect with all that much in terms of like I wasn't feeling certain things or I was kind of just going through it. But the story of Yōtei, the life of Atsu, the twist and the turns that she's going through and this life that was taken from her and now she's out for revenge and her goal is fucking straight as an arrow, that she has a line that she's following. She wants what she wants and she wants to go get it. It centers the story around the Yōtei 6 and finding them and killing them to get revenge for your family that was butchered. This version of the ghost had been traveling for years, honing her skills, getting better, and now she's trying to go and fight these people that she feels took everything from her. And I think that story is really good. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything story-wise, but some things that happen, I got massive goosebumps. I was shocked. I didn't see things coming. I couldn't believe things. I was scared for the life of certain companions that I had with me. There was just so much that's going on in the story of Ghost of Yōtei that I find it freaking crazy that this story is doing these things. It's not like a groundbreaking story about things that haven't happened. It's just really good. It's really tight, and I love the delivery again from all of the Japanese actors in this game. Every single one is doing such a good job. When they speak, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit feels legit. This feels really good. Atsu, again, the Japanese voice actors for Atsu is making me laugh, making me enjoy the game, making me feel compassion for her, making me, crack up at her little jokes. Just the little things, they're so good. I really love the Japanese version, and I don't think that I'm ever going to switch to English. I think my entire experience on this game, even when I'm done recording and playing it for myself, I think I'm going to be in Japanese forever. Like, I love Yōtei like that. So many of the side characters as well that I'm meeting, I'm liking. The combat system just feels a little bit more evolved, feels a little bit better. The stealth feels better. Climbing feels better. The horse feels better. Everything just feels a little bit better. And that's really what it gets down to. The foliage that you find in this damn game is ridiculous. Now, Ghost of Tsushima had amazing foliage and trees and plants and colors. But again, that was from the PS4. Yōtei just being able to go a little bit further and having a little bit more power to work with, it's even freaking better, if that's a thing, if you can believe it. It looks so good. Sometimes I just stop and look at things. I'm like, wow, that is beautiful. Another thing that Ghost of Yōtei has done very well, in my opinion, is the use of the DualSense controller for the PS5. We're using the pad here that I always forget that we even have because we don't really use for anything. That little pad was introduced back in the PS4 era. But for Yōtei, we have used it so much to paint things, to make drawings, to start a fire. We're using the remote to forge our own weapons. So many cool little side games, little side activities that just add to the game. It just improves the quality of life of what this game is. And I'm not finding myself bored with anything. I'm almost ashamed to admit that sometimes I found myself a little bored sometimes with some of the things that I was doing in Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe it's because I spent way more hours in Tsushima and I still haven't gotten to that point in Yōtei. I'm not saying that Ghost of Yōtei is like perfect or it doesn't have its faults or its issues, but so far it's almost better than Tsushima, almost in every way. And it's not a diss on Tsushima. If anything, that's what Sucker Punch wanted. They wanted to make a game that rivaled the first and was potentially even better. And in my opinion, I think they've done that. Obviously, I still have to finish the story, continue to do different things. I'm at a point where I'm confident enough to make this video because I've put a decent amount of hours into the game where I'm like, okay. And even from the very first, like, let's say 8 hours that I played, from the first 8 hours, I have felt more compelled by Atsu's journey than I did for Jin Sakai's journey at the 8-hour mark. I feel so much more in it. And again, this is super subjective because other people might feel more attached to Jin Sakai's story and might feel that it's way better and that Yōtei really isn't hitting. And that's fine. The point is, I can't believe that they did such a good job. I'm super happy that the game is as good as it is. I'm having such a good time. I just find myself rooting for Atsu so much. And there's something that happened in the story, again, I'm not going to go into spoilers, that I thought was awesome. I thought they were going to go a certain direction. I really did. And then they didn't. And I was like, this makes me feel happy. This makes me feel good. And I'm glad that you made this decision because it gives me some sort of happiness, some sort of hope and that type of stuff. That's what I've been feeling. I mean, it's such a sad story of revenge and everything, but it's also a story about how to deal with grief and how to deal with the past and how to overcome certain things and how to change when you feel like you're dead inside. I love this fucking story. I love this fucking game so far. I mean, up until this point, Expedition 33 has been my game of the year, and Ghost of Yōtei, it's rivaling it. And I honestly wanted to come in here and I wanted to tell you guys that if you were on the fence, if you didn't know if you were going to like Ghost of Yōtei for one reason or another, if you didn't think that it could be better than Tsushima, it can be if you want it to be, if you let it be. I would recommend, if you want my advice, which you don't, maybe you don't, it's unsolicited, I would say play this game in Japanese, because in Japanese, it just feels so good, bro. And again, Atsu is amazing in Japanese. And I'm not taking away nothing from any other voice actor or the English version or nothing like that. Just the Japanese version is so good. Those were just some of the things that I had on my mind, some of the things that I want to share with you guys, give you my opinion on what I thought of Ghost of Yōtei so far and what I've thought about everything that the game has done. I have been pleasantly surprised by this game. I may talk about it again after I finish the full game to give you my thoughts on the ending and anything else. Currently, I'm playing through it to be able to get a story explained out for you guys, and then we'll dive into the lore a little bit more as well. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with Ghost of Yōtei.